This video is intended to describe a lightblade wand named Divine Alchemy. Assisting me on this in-depth tour will be my crude, well-loved, well-utilized, dilapidated chakra map I drafted out a while back now that probably requires replacement, as well as these guys over here, which will be described in depth in proper sequence with the video. I will go ahead and get straight into the primary blade band scaffolding of this entire device. Starting off with the transmutation ratio, with this lateral band seen right here being a combination of smoky quartz and hematite running ignition sequence, like so, running all the way down here to this lateral band, back up here underneath the leather. Actually, there are hand bands installed at the exact same ratio, as well as for the main engine section, the heart of the device, with once again hematite and smoky quartz running in a circuit like so. Hematite is a fantastic iron-based metal that grounds all excess energy through the root into the earth stars, the feet into the earth meridian matrix. In tandem with smoky quartz being a tremendous purification agent to ground all excess energy, the same pathway as hematite to ground all energy through the root, the earth stars, and the earth meridian matrix for reprocessing. So the combination, deemed the name transmutation ratio, grounds the entire scaffolding of this energy into a very strong grounding point into Mother Earth for two-way reprocessing, which has many advantageous applications to such a high-frequency white ray device, which I'll get into momentarily. So the scaffolding foundation is to, of course, purify and ground all the excess energy through this entire process by firmly transmuting any negativity into positivity by grounding it into the earth, which also serves as a fantastic way to bring tangibility to the exotic frequencies seen before us. So that would be just the transmutation blade band. Then up here, go ahead and discuss the primary blade band now, would be clear quartz to be a neutral accelerant program carrier of the current on both sides, with exactly 9 clear quartz beads to be a numerological sequence of a new chapter in numerology. So the 9 clear quartz beads goes into golden healer quartz. Golden healer quartz is a fantastic gold white light Christ high heart source frequency emanation, which will serve as the subcapacitation to the entire ignition sequence of the primary blade band. And since I'm starting at the opposite end, I'll be discussing this guy right here, which is lovely scolecite, also seen in a larger concentration on the blade face. Scolecite is a fantastic 6th, 7th, 8th non-physical chakra connector back to the Godhead, as well as an extremely soothing divine higher mind perspective generator. So you can think of that being a very powerful stimulant to the higher chakras of the third eye and crown, yet being a very smooth and soothing divine love resonance gentle frequency, which makes one of the best, in my humble opinion, third eye and crown activators based on the extreme soothing capacity it produces for the neural pathway centers, as well as the stimulations of proper neurochemistry of the serotonin levels, particularly being well balanced and things of that nature. So, as well as being a tremendous frequency of the higher witness self that is transcendent of the typical trappings of the ego-mind identity, limitations, and divisitory constructs. That's scolecite. Then going into golden healer quartz, into white hemimorphite. Hemimorphite is one of those stones I consider criminally underrated in the arsenal of any given lightworker due to some very amazing vibratory properties. Hemimorphite makes a very impeccable 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, higher 4 chakra configuration on the standard 7 typical map of the heart-mind coherence. So it's a fantastic boon for the higher energies to be stimulated in perfect balance for heart-mind coherence, as well as the aspect of any kind of latent capacities of channeling, mediumship, psychic gifts, siddhis, psychic powers, if you would, are highly enhanced by this particular frequency, as well as being dramatically aura balancing and a tremendous light body activator in its own right. So a tremendously potent frequency being subcapacitated by golden healer quartz once again into white howlite. White howlite is a lovely calcium-based clearing capacity. Of course, when you take the white spectrum of the 7 rays diffuse and have a clearing capacity, it makes for another clearing agent, which is very perfect for clearing the entire energetic pathway from top to bottom. That would be just the primary ignition sequence, and of course it continues back into scolecite seen here, then into hemimorphite, then into howlite, and so on, until it connects with these 9 clear quartz beads once again into the transmutation lateral band to, of course, run the figure 8 of the energy through the grounding point to, of course, most importantly, ground all this excess energy as well as tangibilize the entire output of this device. Next, I'll get straight into the engine section, which will be quite a bit of ground to cover, obviously. I will start off with the Lemurian clear quartz main heart of the device right there, which serves the perfect flash drive carrier as well as a neutral ambient focus of energy, particularly in compatibility with the resonance of the wielder to, of course, be harmonized with the conscious self blueprint of the highest optimum, and to most importantly be in tandem to resonate with the frequency as well as put the prayers or intentions through this guy, which of course is terminated to this entire closed loop reactive circuit. So that'd be the main heart, and right here is a lovely piece of golden healer quartz, a larger point size, just like the primary blade band subcapacitation of golden healer quartz, makes for a fantastic gold white light source Christ crystalline emanation frequency. That is very much the heart of what divine alchemy should be. Hence the archetypal name has of course been decided, and then the entire vibratory crystalline ignition order is developed to honor that archetypal name as best as possible. So that aspect of the gold white light source Christ Om frequency, if you would, to connection of creation is of the essence to honor the archetypal goal. And between these 2 points seen right here is the fantastic star argonite. Star argonite is a full calcium-based light body stimulator, as well as a dramatic clear of old patterns that it would inhibit the perfected light body capacity fully emanated from top to bottom. So it works fantastically to rapidly but very gently clear any aspects from the entire chakra calm in meridians top to bottom to the highest light body configuration. That's why, of course, I denote that as a master healer, and just about all lightblade wands having this critical placement between the 2 focus points of the apex of this engine is of the essence, and virtually all wands will have this exact configuration due to its very powerful master healer capacity. And this section I'll discuss in one shot for complete coherent notoriety about the agates and jasper section. So, the aspects of jasper and agates are the most stable, slow, and dense vibrations in the mineral kingdom in their corresponding elemental resonance. So for example, red jasper is the most stabilized root chakra, red ray emanation mineral kingdom to stabilize the base chakra. Going into fire agate is most stabilized fire energy, stimulating the root, sacrum, and solar plexus. Then going into moss green agate to stabilize the 4th heart chakra. Then, right here, blue lace agate to stabilize the 5th chakra, which is also in a water elemental frequency. Then going into grape agate, which luckily is a purple agate, which stabilizes the 6th and 7th wind elemental frequencies. So of course, the foundation of that being very important for all these other frequencies yet to be mentioned is the aspect of the stabilized earth, fire, water, and wind as a backbone to stabilize the entire overture of the elemental spectrum throughout the entire broadcast. Then right here is a lovely synergistic combination of ruby and zoisite. Ruby, quite the famous stone of antiquity and quite the favorited precious stone, is a corundum family, red ray, that stimulates the root chakra, virtually unsurpassed by itself in the mineral kingdom based on a 9 out of 10 hardness on the hardness scale, and makes a very, very powerful root chakra, zest for life, enthusiastic energy emanation. Then when you combine the natural zoisite, the green stone seen right here is a very powerful heart-mind coherence enabler. So when the heart and mind are in great coherence together with the grounded enthusiasm of the ruby, bringing that dynamic shift, that's definitely a fertilization towards the grounds of great alchemical transformation to one's truest self-intangibility. An amazing frequency in a lot of ways. Then right here is Mount Shasta Serpentine from my backyard. Serpentine is a fantastic Kundalini stimulant that, based on the serpentine energy of the root chakra, enables the entire natural flow of the Kundalini from the bottom to top, which is a nice little boost. And also, of course, it's a Mount Shasta locality, so it has the energy of Mount Shasta as a little fun fact. Then right here is Prophecy Stone. Prophecy Stone is a very interesting pseudo-hematoid, as they call it scientifically, which is a metal-based interesting rock that technically does not have elements on our periodic table, so it's basically a space rock that's not quite quantified, which makes it very fun. From one section of Libyan desert that's quite remote, where Libyan gold tektite is found, which is obviously a subject far away, but they are related potentially, not proven, but through energetic resonance, it makes sense this would be the mother rock of the tektite impacting in the sand to make this magical golden space rock over here of mysterious origins. Pardon the digression. Easy to do in such complex videos. Back to a prophecy stone, it got its name termed from a man who discovered it more recently in modern times and had a tremendous prophetic vision while he was engaged with it. Hence it got its name Prophecy Stone. So since it's, of course, it's a high frequency metal-based aspect, it has a strong 6/7 prophetic vision capacity enhancer, as well as being a strong grounder based on its metal composition. So it makes for a tremendous boost through the entire structure of this design. So obviously, I might as well mention this right now, is that all these frequencies mentioned are all grounded to a central primary wire that all vibrate in tandem together as it completes its sequence. So every frequency mentioned, no matter how small the dose, is grounded to a reactive circuit that, of course, generates vibrational compound interest, as well as the aspect of it being part of the entirety of the organs that make divine alchemy what it is. Just as a little disclaimer there for the concept of even the small pieces going through the entire of a closed loop circuit. Then right here is a lovely bolt of fulgurite. This is petrified lightning, of lightning striking sand containing the energy of lightning. This particular stone frequency is utilized by First Nation medicine women, medicine men to intensify and enhance their prayers back to spirit. Since it carries the energy of lightning, it also makes a very dynamic, powerful, full light body stimulation from top to bottom. So a very powerful light body enhancer, as well as a traditional magically used manifestation enhancement device based on the aspect of harnessing the power of lightning. Quite literally. Then down here is a rather critical component, yet rather complex to describe in complete coherently condensed ways, I guess you could say, is smoky celestial quartz. Smoky quartz, of course, like mentioned in the transmutation ratio, is a great grounder of negativity into positivity, as well as obviously a layer of psychic protection goes along with that. But the celestial format has a very special feature in this construct that virtually all lightblade wands have due to its capacity to auto-regulate, like a dimmer switch, the ideal frequency of the entire device in resonance with one's higher self. Which means that whoever engages this, let's say a friend wants to try this out who is friends with the recipient of this device, this frequency is very responsible for auto-calibrating to another recipient's ideal dharmic configuration to make a very quick, perfect harmonization of the entire field. So what that also means too is that the frequency pitch of this entire device, works somewhat like a governor, regulator to ensure the optimum frequency based on situational requirements is always met, and particularly good for the recipient's well-being based on their higher self resonance. I know, of course, it's quite a rather meta subject based on this guy, but yes, quite essential and quite a critical component for a very successful vibratory reaction ideal template enhancer. Then over here is a lovely big bolt of pink tourmaline, with a little bit of lithium host rock. Pink tourmaline is very fantastic, much like kunzite actually. Lithium-based pink ray divine love emanator. So this makes for a very fantastic big dose of extreme soothing love vibration through the entire main engine. And to continue that exact theme, next to it is the lovely petalite, which is actually a lithium-based clear ray frequency generator right here, which brings a very nice soothing 6/7 calming of the mind to the higher self-witness self, much like resonance of the scolecite mentioned previously. So those work fantastic in tandem as extreme soothers to the mental, emotional, physical bodies. Then right behind the Lemurian quartz is a nice big bolt of amber. Amber, not technically a mineral, but a very fantastic transmuter of negativity into positivity, whose origins oftentimes come from sap that's been fossilized from prehistoric times. Amber, much like smoky quartz, can turn any negativity into positivity, so naturally having a little dose of the amber behind the main engine gives a strong purification, further transmutation to the entire vibratory output of divine alchemy. Then flipping the engine over. This right here is a lovely special variety of serpentine named infinitite that only comes from South Africa and has become quite notarized in this timeline. Actually, as a matter of fact, it's quite hard to find these days, but luckily the will of the force gives me great providence in my supplies of crystals for these given compositions. Infinitite is just like serpentine, a very powerful Kundalini stimulant, except its specialty is actually decrystallizing any impediments from the base, sacrum, solar plexus, as well as the heart chakra. So you can think of those aspects of really decrystallizing anything that be impeding the lower grounding of the light body being very well represented here. Hence, actually, this frequency was very, very luckily, pardon my blasphemy of saying luck was involved. The will of the force, I actually provided this on the spot when I was making acquisitions for this device as a perfect boon to further stimulate the impeccable Kundalini activation to decrystallize any aspects of the lower three chakras that would be impeding the one's well-being of the highest blueprint, as well as it serves fantastic as another etheric insulation frequency. It's also very particularly useful for super empaths who feel and take on energy very greatly in their environments. So that actually kind of leads me to a little tangent I must speak of. The entire transmutation platform is also a big-time etheric insulator or etheric Teflon generator, where it works to insulate the entirety of the auric field and give a safe bypass of all excess radial stray energies internally and externally, a safe ground-out arc for reprocessing. So it takes that aspect to another level of providing a full Kundalini stimulation as well as a insulation, etheric Teflon if you would, and a decrystallization of habitual energetic patterns that cause stagnation for the lower chakras. This right here is a lovely bolt of watermelon tourmaline. Pink tourmaline, like mentioned on the other side, is a fantastic lithium-based pink ray generator, while the green tourmaline is a very fantastic, impeccable green ray heart chakra emanation. So the two combined are always a rather fantastic natural synergistic combination, and so that's found right here next to a bolt of tourmalated quartz. So this would be quartz, which is a neutral amplified energy broadcast. But what's nice about these guys is that when black tourmaline, another fantastic black ray grounder into the earth, which works as a transmutation agent, is naturally amplified by the quartz structure. Since, of course, the host rock is quartz, it super intensifies all the black tourmaline through the entire structure, which basically kind of serves as an etheric vacuum cleaner to turn any negativity into positivity. And speaking of that, in the same vein right there is shungite. Shungite is very much in vogue in this timeline due to its notoriety for being a very successful 5G man-made vibration, harmful waves for the human body. And so it's a very fantastic carbon-based resonance that dramatically purifies any negativity into positivity. Hence, one of the aspects of the transmutation ratio. Then behind that guy is black tektite, oftentimes the product of a nickel iron meteorite striking sand to carry the extraterrestrial cosmic jolt into our 3D creation. Black tektite is a very fantastic cosmic-oriented black ray stone, which has a strong stimulation of the entire light body from the feet all the way through the entire body for a full light body activation. So it's a very powerful grounded vibrational increaser and pretty much a staple in all light tech in all variations for many years due to its ground up vibratory strengthening effect. This right here is quite the special stone. This right here is zincite, in the blue spectrum particularly. Zincite is a very powerful base, sacrum, and solar plexus stimulant, yet in the blue ray capacity also brings the octave to the higher 5th chakra. Zincite is perhaps one of the more powerful lower 3 chakra stimulators in the entire mineral kingdom, but like I mentioned, with the blue ray octave also brings the higher pitch of the frequency. So you can think of this particular guy being very, very stimulating, very powerful with near hurricane force to stimulate the lower 3 chakras to a very, very high capacity based on its very intensive cardinal fire elemental nature. But like I said 5 times now, the blue ray capacity also brings a nice burning fire focus of the 5th chakra of one's truth in connection to who they are in creation, which is rather advantageous to the process of divine alchemy. Then right behind that right here is a lovely piece of Shiva Lingam, a rather famous stone from India that is very successfully imbues earth, fire, water, and wind as a very powerful pranic generator, which also is another kundalini enhancer as well as a natural vibrational induction of physical energy and harmonized enlightened purpose. Hence, its utilization in the region has been notarized for quite a while now and is a very powerful spiritual, alchemical transmutation talisman. So even a little dose of that, like I said, goes a long way. Then this right here is a rather special stone. Actually, this is white calcite that has been shaped by the ocean. I retrieved myself last time I was on the Oregon coast. So the aspect of Mother Ocean literally polishing a stone of white calcite, which white calcite by itself is a fantastic clearer of patterns in the full 7-ray diffusion through the entire auric field. Then the aspect of the ocean literally tumbling this stone for perhaps thousands of years, God knows actually that answer, leaves a very strong oceanic clearing imprintation through the entire structure, which has now been terminated to a reactive circuit to carry that clearing ocean capacity through the entire construct. And I believe that would be the engine. Like mentioned before, transmutation ratio running up both sides up to here to this lateral band, going straight into the thumb engagement. I'm going to go ahead and grab this prop to prop it up so I can speak of it less encumbered. Okay. So the primary host of this thumb engagement is Libyan gold tektite. Libyan gold tektite is a very powerful fire energy stimulant, as well as a tremendous sacrum and solar plexus enhancer, being a cardinal fire energy, as well as a full light body activation as well from top to bottom, and was utilized by the pharaohs of old to be carved into scarab beetles, which would actually be the center of their finery, of their power breastplates they'd wear that were badge of their office of Magi God King. So it has a very powerful ancient Egyptian magical, high magic actually, connotation of great magical power. So with the intensive solar plexus activation, it also brings a very intensive manifestation focus that will be associated with the god kings and god queens of mythical times. So one of those stones, of course, I mentioned also I consider to be criminally underrated in the arsenal of a lightworker. And Libyan gold tektite makes an impeccable psychic protection energy as well as enhancing one's alignment to their connection of intention with that of creation. So you can think of it being a very tremendous dharmic accelerant and a very fantastic digestive aid and physical energizer. Really, really amazing stuff. Then on top of that right there is the legendary Moldavite. Even a small dose of this green nugget of power goes a very long way in a closed-loop reactive circuit. Hence, I intentionally also use it in small doses sparingly with a complex nature because moldavite is quite the powerful green ray heart chakra activator that has different aspects of legends and steeped in lore of being a association with the Holy Grail. And I would consider those kind of legendary connotations to be rather applicable here. So moldavite, of course, also has received rather an infamous rap in this timeline due to people blaming it for ruining their lives in certain capacities because of the massive dharmic acceleration it provides. So with that kind of intensive, particular heart connection to creation, it manifests a very dramatic shift towards one's highest path fully manifested. And is a very, very powerful divine, dharmic, highest path synchronizer that can be considered rather volatile in basically forced induction growing pains. So as a little preface, when I always mention that part as part of the contingency of this entire device is designed to be very transmuting of these growing pains and to, of course, truly stabilize these aspects to mitigate this growing pains to one's dharma configuration fully realized on the conscious self, living the alchemical triumph. So, that, of course, brings a tremendous focus of one's highest dharmic path into tangibility quite effectively. As a stone of magic, mysteries, and synchronicities, and one's highest path being highly revealed before them. And like I already said, the big design of this guy being a very well-balanced, full-rounded emanation device is to, of course, God willing, keep it as smooth as absolutely possible as one embarks on their highest divine alchemical journey. Then this power pack blade band around the living gold tektite and the moldavite is actually of clear quartz to be a neutral accelerant into the lovely kunzite. Kunzite is an amazing lithium-based pink ray divine love emanator that's very soothing to the heart, mind, and soul, and is a very, very amazing pink ray calmer in a lot of ways. Then going into clear quartz to accelerate into turquoise. Turquoise, much like lapis, is a fan. It's had millions of fans for thousands of years for a good reason, because turquoise is a tremendous fifth chakra stabilizer enhancer, as well as being a balance of earth, fire, water, and wind through the fifth ray focus. Hence, it's an ancient grandfather ally of First Nation notoriety, as well as the ancient Egyptian utilization. A truly tremendous, amazing, beautiful blue ray stone for being in one's wholeness and truth. Then clear quartz, then to lapis lazuli, a stone of great notoriety in ancient Egyptian utilization and also across the world at this point, is a tremendous fifth and sixth chakra stimulant of the wind element to basically align one's conscious self with their highest spiritual truth. So it's fantastic also for being a diagnostic aid to spiritual perception of seeing underlying energetic maladies manifesting as physical deficiencies. So a great stone of insight and also sovereign truth. So that, of course, completes the circuit like so around the thumb. Then go ahead and move on over here and go ahead and discuss the blade face next. Before that, though, I will discuss these 2 points down here behind the selenite. These are both Tibetan black quartz. Tibetan black quartz comes from Tibet, a region of the earth that is virtually unrivaled in spiritual discipline in one concentrated focus on the earth for thousands of years of deep, intensive spiritual work meditation. So naturally, that's a very powerful spiritual region, the entire earth, as just a preface for this little guy. So obviously that could be a contributing factor to its very unique ohm resonant frequency broadcast it produces into itself. Tibetan black quartz is a very fantastic full light body stimulant, or basically one of those full stimulation master healers, if you would, that dramatically expands the consciousness, yet also grounds the energy very powerfully back into the earth of a truly enlightened frequency. So it also serves as a very fantastic psychic protection agent to have the full emanation contact patch being very, very dynamic and powerful in the ohm spectrum frequency. So a tremendously amazing frequency, even in small doses, behind the selenite, seen right here, to bring that nice ohm divine template further into resonance. Then behind This right here is labradorite, and also, as a quick little disclaimer, the blade face is as matched as identically as physically possible to be a complete even symmetry. Labradorite is a fantastic feldspar-based stone of great magic and mystery, and a very powerful 6th chakra wind elemental stimulant, as well as being a very powerful psychic gift enhancer and a clairvoyant booster, as well as being more in touch with one's latent subtle frequencies of magic. So, discussing the vast mysteries of labradorite is almost discussing the quandaries of the ocean, as far as I'm concerned, so oftentimes I kind of do my best to consolidate, make it short and sweet, to not make videos excessively long with such complex matters at hand. But anyhow, labradorite is a very powerful magic boost of energy of one's latent capacities becoming very obvious to conscious self, or one's latent psychic gifts being highly intensified and enhanced. Then right here is a rose quartz flat embossed with the sacred geometric symbol of the flower of life, which should not need much introduction for this video due to its extreme notoriety and extreme potency and power of being a building block of creation. Set on rose quartz to be a lovely, natural pink ray resonant, high heart divine love energy. Then going into scolecite, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, but I'll mention it again for prosperity's sake. Posterity's sake, I mean. So the aspect of scolecite being a tremendous, smooth 6th, 7th, divine, 8th chakra alignment brings extremely powerful divine connection through the crown chakra, but most importantly in a very soothing, calming way to just simply be in the witness self, higher self perspective. Then this right here is lovely Larimar. Larimar is a fantastic 5th and 6th chakra stimulant, and it's a great soother to the mind, as well as a fantastic voice projection. And so obviously anybody that's in service to creation could definitely use a nice 5th chakra boost to speak clearly, impeccably, and in service to those under their jurisdiction. So Larimar is a very, very fantastic soothing oceanic frequency as well. Then right here, perhaps one of my top 5 favorite stones, if I dare had to quantify and make judgment, is seraphinite. Seraphinite, obviously being a green ray stone, makes a very lovely heart chakra stimulation, as well as a very powerful full light body emanation. So it may be green in dominance, obviously, but its entire stimulation actually affects the entire chakra field as one unit, as a dramatic I am column chord aligner that rapidly dismantles any patterns of dis-ease from the system in all spectrums of mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Any aspect of non-ideal frequency configuration gets very smoothly, very cleared out of the system in the cellular matrix, if you would. So in application to any light tool, this oftentimes is a staple, particularly in wand formats, to be another seraphic, seraphim archangel boost of energy through the entire cellular structure to simply have the impeccable glowing health emanation, which is like a catalyst for dramatic, impeccable, tangible physical health. I do love that guy quite a bit. Then at the very apex of this blade banding scene right here is, once again, oceanic calcite, like mentioned down here, which was, of course, white calcite shaped by the ocean to have a very powerful imprintation of the clearing capacity of Mother Ocean, which is very nice to have in a crystalline format of the clearing capacity of the ocean on a calcite to, of course, even hold that clearing capacity even further. Then to intensify that aspect as well is rutilated quartz, which is actually gold bands of rutile in this quartz structure seen right here to work as a amplified supercharger. So clear quartz, like mentioned at least a dozen times by now, works as a fantastic natural amplifier of energy. But the rutile in the structure makes for a tremendous intensification of whatever frequencies in termination, not to mention, of course, it's grounded to the primary wire, so it's a little boost through the entire system to intensify the entirety of the vibrational output. But in particular, with the boosting of the calcite to really intensify the clearing capacity of the oceanic imprinted full light body clearing capacity is a very nice feature to really bring further white ray clearing capacity, which would be the foundation of a fully healthy functioning light body, which also, aka, manifests as a very physical avatar in all capacities. Alrighty. Okay. So that'd be the blade face, the thumb engagement. Most components are notarized by now. We're getting pretty far. So one thing I'll mention before I go any further is also the utilization of the oak wood core, seen here and here. This is actually the subcore screwed into the secondary part of the device. They both come from my lovely backyard, locally organically sourced here in Mount Shasta. So oak makes a very fantastic platform resonance to be a very dense atomical structure known as the wood of heroes and kings and gods. And it's a very, very powerful, dense atomical structure of oak, hence many have deep resonance of being a source of strength. So naturally having the oak being the foundation of such a exotic, technically very high vibratory threshold is a great antithesis complementary feature. Okay. So, something I oftentimes will save for last intentionally in this video, after mentioning all the devices components thus far, is the incorporation of selenite. So selenite by itself is a fantastic 6th, 7th, 8th, all the non-physical chakras back to one's higher self Godhead alignment clearing pathway, as well as clearing any densities from top to bottom of the auric field. But where it really shines in any given spirit tool is the capacity to take all the stones mentioned thus far and to purify all of them in the circuit, and to further harmonize all the frequencies mentioned, then to amplify. So when you take the aspect of amplification, purification, and harmonization in one trifecta of all these stones mentioned, I get verklempt. It's the grounds for a truly fantastic vibratory threshold device, once again, harmonized, purified, and accelerated in that tandem. That trifecta is very beautiful for any given amount of frequencies to optimize the perfected vibratory pitch as well. And this section can be rather complicated to discuss as well, is the aspects of the kyanite spectrums found in black, orange, green, and blue. Black kyanite rapidly bridges energies through the root chakra into the earth very, very quickly. Orange kyanite rapidly bridges the capacities of the sacral to the highest configuration in connection to the divine connection. Green kyanite rapidly bridges energies through the entirety of the impeccable heart chakra zone in receptive and projective. And blue kyanite also bridges pathways very effectively through the neural pathways or the third eye and the right and left hemispheres. So when you take the four combined kyanites, it makes for truly dynamic, rapid shifts of energy that transfer very quickly through the entire optimum of the perfected auric field. And to make a very auto-reactive, another layer of etheric Teflon, if you would, to ensure the right amount of frequency is always in the optimum range to ensure the perfected energy containment. The kyanite aspect is one of those parts of the videos that are pretty meta to do my best to describe pragmatically and simplistically, but in summary, kyanites rapidly bridge energies very, very quickly. And the aspect also, of course, if the kyanite spectrum is being very successful for broadcasting and bridging energy, for example, to a tree outside, making a closed reactive circuit with my good buddy out there, the sacred one-legged, to run the current and, most importantly, make the energy connection to have the projection actually transfer. So that's a little fun fact that's pretty important about kyanites and oftentimes a great source of digression. And to focalize all this energy seen thus far, right here and here, on the backside of these rose quartz points are titanium aura quartz. Titanium aura quartz is technically a man-made alchemical crystal, which is a clear quartz pressure-coated with titanium, but is very, very powerful and effective for full rainbow light body activation to intensify the entirety of the optimized rainbow full spectrum light body and strengthen the outer emanations of the auric field from any kind of intrusive, dysregulating energies. So another amazing stone of what I consider to be one of those And an empath's best friend would be this frequency right here to strengthen the subtle energy of the internal auric field so that the stray radial bombardment energy that empaths mostly suffer from get highly mitigated and well insulated from. As well as being the focus of the energy of this figure 8 circuit, this takes the focus of the entire energy and strengthens the broadband straight into rose quartz. Rose quartz makes for a very fantastic focalizer of the energy. So you can think of all this being a contained figure 8, but yet this is the focus of the direction of the current. So having the aspect of the tried and true, well-loved rose quartz faceted, like so, into points, is an impeccable focus of the pink ray energy being the, I guess you could say, the business end of the device. And also be a fantastic way to take the excess energy and give a ground focus of direction of the current. And so, that would be the entirety of the crystalline composition. So I'll go ahead and discuss the accessories that go along with this guy. Okie dokie. So once this video is all said and done, all these components were notarized, I'll be installing this white leather hood, like so, to serve as a color therapy resonance of the white spectrum ray, 7 rays diffused, as also an insulator to consolidate the excess energy of this entire engine section, if you would, into the focus, as well as a way to protect the stones, and to keep everything very well protected and insulated as it goes on to fulfill its destiny with the recipient to be a very well used tool in service to their service to creation. And I guess D, it looks nice. It's like the aesthetics are always the last on my list because I'm very serious about the tangible prerogative of such good devices. So it also is a very nice finished aspect of a more complex, larger device. And once this is all said and done, this guy right here, the ohm symbol, should not need much introduction at all, is actually been terminated with its own power pack. So this is a circular power pack consisting of very powerful heart stimulants in one closed loop circular circuit. Starting off with Emerald, the impeccable king of the green ray heart chakra abundance activators mineral kingdom. Clear quartz into Peridot, a fantastic positive energy of growth, basically the analog frequency of chlorophyll set in stone, a fantastic 3rd and 4th abundance stimulator, as well as clear quartz into Morganite. Morganite is actually a cousin to Emerald of the Beryl family, so it makes a very powerful pink ray divine love emanation and is considered to be the quintessential soulmate attractor. Get a little verklempt aligning with this one, obviously. It's a lot of heart energy. Into clear quartz, into Emerald, and so on to complete a circuit around the lovely, amazing ohm. And once that's all said and done, this will be installed like so, with these leads grounded into this lateral band, which I saved for this moment, as well as this transmutation band to run a circular circuit, augmenting around the tried and true spiritual symbol that is the ohm of creation. But a very, very powerful heart-centered aspect. So this can be considered the abundance ratio typically used in my endeavors of the Emerald and Peridot in combination sequence, with the Morganite being a special addition to this tried and true sequence to bring a very powerful royal, I guess you could say, since it's a Beryl family cousin to Emerald, high heart, love, divine love focus. And so why I omitted this lateral band for last is that this will eventually be grounded into here, like I said, also with the transmutation backbone scaffolding to ground this entire circuit through the structure. And this lateral band consists of clear quartz, like mentioned, to be a neutral accelerant, into Prehnite. Prehnite is a very fantastic 3rd and 4th chakra stimulator that's tremendously soothing and healing to the mind and the body. And it's a very fantastic natural analog frequency to the great force of Raphael the Archangel, in my humble opinion. Then going into clear quartz, into lepidolite, a fantastic purple ray, lithium-based, extreme soother of the mind in the highest configuration. So a very, very fantastic potassium and lithium-based frequency that's very, very calming. Then into clear quartz, into, once again, kunzite, a lovely pink ray lithium-based high heart divine soother. So this combination makes a very fantastic soothing emanation and ignition sequence together. Hence, it's a very, very calming frequency generator that will have the heart fortification grounded directly to the termination sequence to run in a circular current. Then, on the other side of that placement will be the Phoenix. The Phoenix is the quintessential symbol of the alchemical triumph fulfilled. So having the Phoenix in a corporation to divine alchemy, I consider to be of the essence to really honor the platform's designation for its intended purposes. To be a source of divine alchemy in one closed loop lightblade circuit, wand. So the Phoenix, of course, is very much the aspect of rising from the ashes of the previous self into one's glorious, fiery nature once the alchemical crucible is achieved and all the gross imperfections in between one's dharmic blueprint are burnt off successfully to rise again and live the second life. So obviously, in esoteric tradition, the Phoenix, any kind of ancient mysticism, wizardry, things of that nature, the Phoenix is a very, very powerful, tried and true symbol of that achievement. So I felt very much inclined that this was a very appropriate talisman to be part of the entire structure of the vibratory output that divine alchemy is. Okay. Well, I believe that'd be the entirety of the entire pardon me. Obviously, looking at all this, of course, and keeping everything focused and linear is a lot to process. Make sure I got everything fully notarized so that nothing's omitted for this video's sake. So as I'm looking at the entire structure, make sure I got everything, it made me almost stutter and repeat myself. A kind of funny fact. Anyhow, so the aspect of divine alchemy's purpose of existence is to be a very powerful alchemical inducer and a very powerful divine white light emanation, which this entire blade band could be construed to be a very powerful third eye crown higher chakra activator, with the transmutation blade band being a strong grounder of the energy to, of course, bring it into the earth to make it real, which is the aspect of why magic is the word it is in summary, it means to make real. So that's what this device is, to be a tremendous alchemy device of high white light Christ frequency emanation, as well as to ground it and have many different components and organs to, of course, support this endeavor of this intended device's output to be in service of the recipient as they serve creation. Well, I guess that would be the conclusion of this video. I pray that the force is with us all and we all have a fantastic day. Aho.